In this video, I'll be showing you a few of my favorite sewing hacks to make your sewing life even easier. To be showing these sewing techniques, I will be making one and showing them as I go along. Number 1, always save larger scraps from your various projects. For this project, I only need a little bit of orange, so it'll be really helpful. Secondly, it's really helpful if you buy from the remnant section at sewing stores. You can find lots of different colors. You can only find a little of it, and it'll be on sale. So that's a good way to save money and get lots of fabric. Number 2 is look for free patterns online. This one's from Abby Glassenberg, and it's called Penny the Fish. And it's going to be a wonderful pattern that was completely free. This one over here is super complicated. It's on really thin paper and was $20 from a craft store. I'm not the best at reading patterns, but clearly I'm a competent sewer. Like, I don't know, it's so difficult. So yeah, free patterns are amazing. Or you can also go on Etsy, and Etsy has a lot of cheap, really good patterns. One really important kind of life hacky kind of thing is when, and I don't always do it, but it's really helpful, is when you start sewing on your machine, you're gonna wanna go forward a bit, and then hold the reverse button and go back, and that's gonna kind of lock in the stitches so that they're tight and it won't break. Another really important thing while you're sewing, especially with this kind of heavier fleece, because fleece can be really hard to sew through, is just going slow, picking up your foot repeatedly, kind of repositioning the fabric, making sure everything looks good. Another sort of life hack that I have, quilting scissors. They're super sharp and tiny, and you can use them to cut the thread off the end more precisely, and it's just a lot easier than normal scissors. Boop. Of course, this isn't really much of a life hack. You can kind of count it if you want, but you should always be trimming up your edges before turning it inside out, and that will help to make the shape look better. Don't get too close to the stitching or you might break the stitching. Then turning inside out. Ooh, another really useful life hack is for tight corners, not much like these. You can get a pair of pliers, small ones, and here, one sec. Something like these kind of, and you can just use these to kind of push out the corners, or a stuffing stick also works. I know if you buy a certain bag of polyfill, you can get a stuffing stick, and that can be used for stuffing or helping the corners, or scissors. Just be really careful with scissors. Yeah. Favorite hacks is to use liquid stitch fabric glue to glue on small pieces like felt detail. You do sometimes have to do 2 layers though to make sure the glue is thoroughly applied. One really important life hack that I have heard before is that so when you're stuffing it, when you start sewing, there's usually going to be a little gap of no stuffing in it. So just put a little extra stuffing in there and then finish it. One last thing is if you're struggling to figure out how to sew on a limb, you can just hand sew it on, and it usually works just as great. And here is my derpy little fish that I love so much using and while explaining a bunch of different life hacks that I used. Well, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, do all the things. I'm still working on different videos. I've got animation I'm working on. I see your requests in the comments, and I do need to be working on them. I will get to them, I promise. All right, I'll see you next video. Bye.